Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Aha Moment. My name is Yogesh Kapoor. I am a communications coach. And today I have with me my accountability partner, my partner in crime, she's a lot of things to me, but welcome, Grace. So amazing. Grace, as usual, tell us something about yourself.
I am Grace, so amazing, and I'm happy to be here. It's another beautiful Friday here in our city, and the beautiful thing about today is the fact that the weather is beautiful. I love it. I am a physicist and a life and personal development coach. That is how I express myself through the work that I do. Above all those things, I am a progressive human being, always learning and growing. And one of the things that we come here to do every Friday is to come here, share some of the things that we have learned, and also hear from you because we know that learning is all about getting and sharing. So that's why we come here to do what we do. And I love it because my time and my mind and my brain and everything is clocked to this time now. So everything I'm doing, I'm rushing to finish up so that I can be here because I also learn while I'm here. So this is the aha where we get our aha when we start to talk. So I'm looking forward to getting so many ahas today with what we have to talk about.
Oh, me too. And first of all, I want to wish everyone a happy Lionsgate portal. It was actually yesterday. It was 888. Those of you that believe in spiritual well-being, yesterday was a very good day to do that. Do positive affirmations and all. But if you missed it, it's fine because it's open till the 12th of August. So do all those things. And right now is 11:11 where I am. So everything is synchronizing for us, Grace. And I know we are going to get so many aha moments, and we're going to share so many aha moments in the coming year. And I know we're going to spread this thing we have started together to a lot of people. And today we're going to continue talking about spiritual well-being, right? Last
Mm.
time we touched on connection with ourselves, connection with nature, connection to the things we love. Today I want to kind of shift the focus a little bit because spiritual well-being in itself is a very big topic. I mean, you have guys like Dr. Joe Dispenza who talk a lot about it, and other spiritual healers and people who've gone beyond a certain point where the human body cannot, right? I can give so many names, but the point is that you're a physicist, you understand all these things about quantum and all. In terms of spiritual well-being, what are certain things you do or certain advice you would give to people to make that shift in their well-being? Because for some people, right, there's this mindset that it takes months or years, but people have proven it doesn't need to take so long. So I want your perspective on this because you are on both sides, right?
Yeah.
You know science and you are a personal development coach and you have that open mindedness where you've been learning. I've been learning with you as well and learning from you as well. So I want your opinion on this.
Thank you. And I think this is my favorite thing to talk about because there is this sense of science and spirituality that people think that there is a disparity, that they don't they are different. But with what is evolving and what we are learning on a daily, it is becoming very obvious that they work hand in hand. So when you said what, I watched a video recently, and I'm going to share that video with you. The video was about a man in China. You should even go see him. I would share the video. That he does sound healing. He does. There's a way he does. There's a name for that he does. And so right now, that's I'm not deviating from your question, but I want to create a background of understanding so that people would know that, okay, there's this whole spirituality thing. What is it about? How can you understand it from the science point of view? And how can you quantum leap into getting whatever it is you want to get in terms of healing? We're talking health. Now, there are several things that coming from where we're coming from and all the things we touched, and a recap of that, I would quickly add is that we started from the foundation of what spiritual health is and how is it important that we're spiritually healthy. You know, so if you've not watched that bit, you can go, you can go see that particular episode where we talked about spiritual health. So today, as we continue on that path of spirituality, the health of it, and even bringing quantum physics, if you may, and even quantum as a word into it, is opening our minds to knowing that the intangible rules the tangible. And what that means is, when it comes to overall well-being, overall health and achievement and things that one needs to achieve, when you get it from the intangible, what the things you are not able to see with the naked eyes, we're now talking about healing from the quantum level, talking about energy. Now, when you talk about energy, people think of something woo woo, or think of, you hear people say they're doing this energy healing and all of that. What that means is people should understand that there are certain forces, I would say, for lack of a better word to use, certain things that needs to be done on the level, on the quantum level, things that will go deep into the vibrational level, right, vibrational state of one. Now that's taking us back to what we've always talked about. There is no how you put quantum in a statement that you would not put vibration, frequency, and the likes into what you're talking about. It's almost wrong, right? So a practical example I would say is, for instance, when you say anxiety, fear. So this is me bringing it down for people to get where I'm coming from. When you talk about fear, anxiety, the physical part of it, you can't see fear. Fear is a feeling. You can't see it, but it's a feeling. Now, when when a medical apparatus that used to check the heart rate is used on someone, they would see how the heart is palpitating and all of that. And the thing that has caused that is fear. Now, fear cannot be measured, fear cannot be seen, but the effect of fear is being measured through constant palpitations of the heart. So, with that in mind, when you talk about the science or the spirituality, the science behind spirituality, you're talking about the intangible, the things that you're not going to see. Now, when you bring that into leaping or achieving something for yourself to a point where you want to quantum leap and achieve it, there has to be a shadow work that has to be done from the point where you are not seeing things. And then on the physical, in the physical realm, it's happening like this. It's fast, it's fast, it's fast. And people are like, is it magic? Because you have been able to do the background work, which is not very visible. It's like the shadow, the work. You cannot separate the shadow from the human being, but the shadow won't come out when it is supposed to come. You will not see the shadow at all times. Doesn't mean it's not there. It's when light is cast on an object that you see. In the same way, when you want to quantum leap or you want to achieve something, it doesn't happen like that until you are spiritually healthy. You have found alignment. You have found purpose. You've dealt with traumas. You have dealt with things that are affecting you. And that's where the things that you don't see might be controlling the things that you see. So the beautiful thing about science and spirituality is that there is a part where they meet. So I think I'll just keep quiet. I don't know if I just took it round the clock, for us to see where it starts and everything and everything. And I'm sure that when our viewers eventually, when they eventually get to see this, it will make sense to them when they imagine certain things happening to them, and they're wondering, why is this happening? You know, it's the spiritual aspect that has not been dealt with, the things that cannot be seen with the ordinary eyes. So that's where I would. So what do you think from your own perspective? The same question. What do you have to say?
Well, I love what you said. It's something you cannot see, but right, you feel it. And as we all know, we all are vibration, frequency. We're all these things in terms of physics, right? And that's what we mean by quantum, is when we are vibrating at a certain level, we are sending out frequency at a certain level. We touch that frequency of healing and abundance, everything just becomes normal. I mean, even for your own self, when you talk about healing, right? I've seen, you mentioned a person in China. I've seen um, a cancer patient. Okay. I've seen a cancer patient, and I've seen these spiritual healers, right? Who are at a frequency level, at a vibration level, much higher. And you can't understand all of this because,
Yeah.
and they have gone and just put their hands around this cancer patient, and literally on the camera, like the camera that can see inside the body, the cancer is disappearing.
Wow.
And there's so many people out there, spiritual leaders, manifestors. Just last night I was attending a webinar. 23-year-old girl, 23 years old. 2 years ago she was a college student, she had debt, and today she's made $1 million in 2 years. And she was, because it was the Lionsgate portal, she was explaining, at a quantum level, how she shifts. And we are water, right? 60%, 70% of our body is water. The words you speak, the feelings you have, our body memorizes things. Traumas, fears, they all are from childhood, right? And when you have those and you're not connecting to yourself, you're not allowing yourself to vibrate at a certain level, you can't see this stuff, right? The naked eye cannot see it. Science has proven it today, right? It's not just about your exercising or about listening to the right stuff and all. It also goes deeper than that. If you get to that point, right, you are, what's the right word for it? I would say you're the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
You're the best version of yourself, spiritually, mentally, physically, and it doesn't require much effort. It's just that you have to understand the concept. Why in these superhero movies they show that the superhero gets cut and then suddenly he heals, right? In movies they always show this stuff. They're super soldiers, or one guy just, it just takes him a day and he's fine again, and they're used to this stuff. I mean, we have animals, right? We also have animals who get bit by a poisonous snake and they're immune to it, right? I mean, not every animal is the same. Cockroaches, they're the only one who survive radiation. Can you imagine? So if there was a nuclear explosion, cockroaches would survive. That tells you something, that they're structured in such a way. They are having that, what's the right word for it? They are in touch with that frequency, that vibration.
Yeah.
And it is all quantum physics. So to me, I've seen one of my cousin's wife. She had some physical issue, and there was this one spiritual guru she went to, and all he did was touch her, and she was fine.
Wow.
She went fine, and ever since she's a devotee of his. Now, does he have? Some would say he has God-given powers. Some would say other things, right? I just clearly think he's connected to source, like what we were saying. He's connected to that matrix, what we were talking about in the last episode, right? Connection.
Yeah.
From inside out.
Absolutely.
So for me, that is what it actually means. And I think that is the highest form of wellness, is when you are able to reach that. Dr. Joe Dispenza, right? Medical case, they said, we'll give you a surgery, you'll never be able to walk. He said, sorry, I'm not going to go down that path, right? He spiritually healed himself. A person whose every vertebrae was like smashed, broken. Or David Goggin, the guy who's they say is the toughest guy in the world. He was like this fat guy, and he went to the Navy SEALs, and he ran marathon after marathon. He was bleeding internally, literally, and he duct taped his foot, and he kept running because there was a power within that was much stronger than the physical body he had. You see?
Wow.
He was in touch with that, even though the body was not there, but from within he was there. And
Yeah.
eventually that healed his body as well. You see?
Wow.
So to me, that is spiritual wellness, where you are able to just connect with whatever you want to call it, you know, and you heal from within, and from within what heals on the outside.
I love it. You know, that connection is, it makes a lot of sense. Even, you know, when we talked about mental health and the other parts of the health, the disconnection is where the problem is. Where there
Correct.
is a disconnect, you know, you're no longer tapping from, you know, it never ends. It's just like a tap connected to an ocean. For round the clock, it will continue to flow. Water will flow as long as the tap is connected to the ocean, because the ocean never runs dry. And when there is, so sometimes there's some level of disconnection. Maybe, you know, the pipe is broken, you know, so the full source of water won't get into the tap. It's broken somewhere. So that's where you see some anomalies in how, you know, we come. It's probably because there are some loopholes, there are some parts that, so it is now our duty to look for the loopholes and patch them up, so that we can be able to get everything without, you know, so that mentality is going to help us first and foremost have the mindset that we have the ability to be connected to the main source and not to tap from here, 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 and here. If we need to tap here, here, and here, that it will help us stay connected to the main source, that's fine. So I think it's a journey, and the journey is being aware that there is a source that you can be plugged into, that you never run dry. But if you, my goodness, I think I just got my aha. I just got my aha. I didn't think of it this way. It is now making sense that the awareness that we should have is knowing that you can you can fail, you know, some things can come in form of distractions and punch on the pipes that is connected to the tap. It is now your duty to make sure that the parts that were punctured can be sellotaped or done in such a way it doesn't sprinkle out. In a practical term, there are times that you just see that, you know, there's a lot of things happening to you that you're not happy with, and you're not comfortable with, and you don't know what else to do, and you're in that zone of confusion. You're in that zone of, oh, you know, and this is where some people get into depression and get into um suicidal thoughts and everything, because they've lost it. In this case, there's been a disconnection. So the disconnection is no longer tapping from the source. It is now dry. The hose is now dry. It's no longer connected to the tap, which you get from. And when you're in that state, you're not able to do anything. You lose
Agree.
touch with reality. You lose touch with everything and anything that makes you fulfilled. So you have an option to look for, and that's where we have all these interventions, we have all these things that we do to help us bring us back to self. Now, the first thing is awareness, and then knowing that there's a problem. But if you don't accept the fact that, okay, I'm disconnected from source, I'm disconnected from the channel, the strength that is innate, is inside of me. If you don't know that, you continue to suffer. So all these modalities that we do, that we preach and talk about, is to help you connect back to self. And connecting back to self is connecting back to source. So for me, it's interesting to know that whatever modality, coaching, therapy, energy healing, all those modalities still comes back to one thing and one thing alone: connecting back to who you are, your entire essence, what you're about, what is your why you're here. Once you're able to get that, it's easier to connect to source, because you and source are one.
I love that. I so love that. That is, it is also a aha moment for me, and it is also a reminder for me, right? Because we always forget, that we always say that we are one with God, or one with source, or one with whoever, whatever believes it, right? But we so forget that. And it's all from within. And yesterday in the workshop, it was so interesting. This is a 23-year-old girl, half my age. Okay, she's half my age, and she was talking about your future self, writing a letter to your future self, dated 1 year later, and writing down where you live, how you live, what you're making, all of that. And she's talked about a portal, and stepping into that portal, becoming that best version of yourself, and coming back, right? And making that shift in your energy, right? And when you make that shift, your being becomes different. You're not that same person anymore, because you're connected to the best version of yourself. And the best version of yourself is the one that is connected to source. Because the best people in the world who do things that are supernatural, they're not superhumans or anything. It's just that they're connected to source. They have setbacks, they face issues, but that doesn't bother them. They go beyond that. They don't allow to themselves to get depressed, sick, or any of that. Even today, while I was having dinner, I was listening to this one guy, and I used to listen to him previously, and he contradicts so many of the things that others say. He contradicts it like anything. And he's like, oh my God, he said something so interesting. Um, Everyone says chase happiness. He says no. He's like, no, don't chase happiness. Because if something makes you happy, that's temporary, right? For some people, smoking, drinking, drugs makes them happy. For some people, certain other things make them happy. Buying expensive watch, a car, traveling, all that. But that's all temporary stuff. After a while, how much can you buy? He's like, I bought this car. I have these many homes, blah, 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 blah. He's like, chase being proud.
What?
Having pride, chase being proud, not being happy, pride of the version of yourself that you want to be. Because that is power. That will make you go. You've seen people who've got rich, who've become billionaires and commit suicide.
Yeah.
They can buy whatever they want. They can get the best treatments in the world. They can buy all the love they want. Friends, love, name it. They can travel. But yet what happens? Because they're not connected. They were chasing the wrong thing. They were not chasing being proud of who they are. And it was just amazing, because he said, life is not supposed to be easy. Like, he's like, why do we have this concept of life is supposed to be easy and all? No, it's supposed to be hard. It's just you don't take hard in the way we take it. You don't get sick over it. Hard is just a means of moving the needle forward. He's like, was it easy for our ancestors to face dinosaurs and not have so many facilities that we have, right? But if they said that we don't want to work hard, we don't want to do all this, would we reach this far? I was
Mm.
like, he's got a point, and that's what his spiritual wellness was. He's like, if he's like, getting angry is normal, but that you should turn that anger into something, not say, oh, I'm a loser, like blah, 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 blah. No. He's like, when I was a kid, I used to see someone drive a $400,000 car, and I used to be like getting angry. I'm like, he can afford a $400,000 car, and I have to take a bus to school, right? But he took that energy and he converted it to a drive. He's like, God doesn't like lazy people.
Mm.
God doesn't like
And
people
that,
who complain, who are depressed, who are this. And he's right, because we are one with source. So if we're complaining, we're all of that, that is what is going to reflect.
true, very true. You won't
You
come
want to
out
be
in your
healthy.
best.
Yeah. You say you love yourself, but at the same time, you're drinking, smoking, not taking care of health, not looking at your finances, not making your relationships. You're not connected to yourself. That's why you can't connect to anything else out there.
Beautiful. I love this. I think this is the height of spirituality.
It is. It is.
The height
Spirituality
of
is not just about
spirituality.
meditation or about, it is about just,
Prayer.
being connected and being the best version of yourself in whatever it is.
Mm, I love it.
And it
Absolutely
becomes
love it.
effortless, right? We think the people out there who are billionaires, they don't do anything. No, wrong. Look at their diaries. Some of them are super busy,
Yeah.
but they're connected to source. They're the best version of themselves. You think Elon Musk goes partying every other day?
Of course not.
No, listen to his story. He used to do coding 7 days a week. If his girlfriend wanted to come, she can come in his room. They didn't even have a bed and sleep on the couch because he was connected. He knew, I need to bring something to humanity. SpaceX, underground cars. I mean, the tube that he's building, right? I mean, the guy he's like the Tesla of today. He's the Nikolai Tesla of today.
Yeah, he is. And I think God source is proud of him because contrary to what people would say, the question is, this is what I would say as a parent or as a father or as a mother, if you had children that could create a lot of things that could help and bring something, how would you feel as a parent? I mean, your child comes up to you, that look at what I just discovered, this is going to help this da, 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 da. As a father, you'll be proud of him, as against comparing a child that will just come, nothing to show for the gifts and talents that you have. You've been blessed with so many things, and not even one thing is coming out of you. As a father, as a parent, you'll be sad. So that's how I see it, that we have all these gifts and talents for us to be able to utilize it, use it. And I also think that once you're connected to source, once you're connected to yourself and you know yourself in and out, you become even more creative. Things come to you quickly, ideas come to you fast. Like, you just see things differently. What somebody would pass and look at it without looking at it twice, you'd look at it and you'd see that that thing could solve a problem. You start to see things on another level. Now that's bringing us back to quantum. Now, what quantum, when you are in that state, what people see as normal is not normal to you. You see, you are you're in another realm in your thinking. You're in another realm in your approach. People are complaining and you don't see complaints, you're seeing solutions, you're seeing plenty good things coming out of what people are killing themselves and fighting over. You are in a realm, you're in a vibrational level where you are like, wow, this is good for me. I'm going to do this because I've got this. I've got this. And I think we all have been given the opportunity to be able to do certain things. But because we allow ourselves to be disconnected, we allow ourselves to be distracted, we lose touch with our essence, and we don't come
Oh,
full circle. We're not able to do what we are supposed to do because we allow ourselves to fall off the wagon and get distracted and all of that, and don't connect to self. So I'm just getting a whole lot, and I think I love the conversations we have here, because for me there are some things that you've always known, but conversations like this would help you bring it out, and it becomes a reminder that what are you doing practically to get you closer to source, to get you closer to your whole essence, so that you can start solving things at a different level. The difference between the very rich, the very healthy, and the very wealthy is that they know themselves. And once you
oh,
know that,
oh, I
yes,
love that. I
once
love that. Yes, they know themselves so well. I remember a interview of Kobe Bryant. God have peace upon his soul. Um, and they asked him once that, at what age did you know um, you wanted to be a basketball player? He's like, I knew at the age of 12, 13 that this is what I want to do, and that was it. So you can imagine he knew himself so well. And he passed away tragically in a helicopter accident in 2020. He was 42 years old. That time I was the same age, and he's achieved 5 world championships, an Oscar, because he made a short video on. He was a great father and husband and a great businessman, and he knew what he wanted, and he
yeah,
was always questioning. He was always questioning. He was always asking his seniors. Like, he was very like a brother to Michael Jordan, and he would call him 2 in the morning and say, "Hey, what about this? What about that?" And it'd be like, wow, can you imagine?
mm,
And he would get up in the morning, go train once, and then take a shower, and then again train with the team. This is what the best version of you does. You do things that the regular people are not willing to do, the ones who
able.
have lost connection. you know
I love it. I
he
love this
tore
conversation,
he
Yogesh. I
tore
love it. I love this.
he tore a muscle, and the interviewer asked him, he's like, I have a friend who tore the same muscle, and he's like, it's so painful. How did you even overcome that pain? He's like, today you look at your children, look up to you. You got to be the right role model for them. Right now,
Yeah,
that is someone at a level which is like, you're in pain, but you don't let your children see the pain. You show them, I'm bigger than my pain.
absolutely.
And that's what I think, what we are striving here is, with our aha moment, is for people to be that, get these aha moments, you know see that they can also become and get whatever they want. It is achievable, you see. And you're right, it's just reminders. Our conversations are just reminders, nothing more. It's a
And I
reminder of
think just a
ourselves.
reminder to anybody watching or listening, or reminders to us ourselves, knowing what we know. And I think this is like a session for us on a weekly basis, if you ask me. This is like us having this session of okay, you've been doing all of these things, and you are at a point where you should now pause. So I think this aha moment on a weekly basis is a point where we pause and say to ourselves, look, you have been doing this and you do this on a daily. Here is your weekly reminder to pick the aha, the lesson of all the things you have been learning. And remember that life is a continuum. So you have the stop points. That's why when you're driving on the road, you have the stop, ready to go, go. Stop, ready to go, go. In our journey, on our journey as human beings, as we move ahead and we learn and grow, it is important we have a stop, ready, go. Stop, ready, go. In a way that it's a constant reminder that you need to know when to keep moving, you know when to gather yourself together, and you know when to go with the information you have gotten. So I think this aha moment is a pause, get ready, and then when we leave here, and which is, I don't know if the work that I do is I help people create systems like this, so this is one of the systems as coaches that we have been able to create for ourselves to also put these things out there. And we're coming up with our course where we will definitely do this and then give people the opportunity to create systems for themselves to go, pause, stop, think, re-strategize, and move. I think we've talked a lot about it today. I personally have learned something today, and I'm going to run into this weekend re-strategizing what I will do intentionally to get me connected and make sure that I'm not losing, you know, water or nutrients from several parts of the hose that is connected to my own part and to my own tap. That's what I'm going to do.
That's
So, what are
amazing,
you going
Grace.
to do this weekend?
Oh, definitely. I am going to raise my vibration, raise my frequency. Because yesterday I did that, especially it was the 888 portal. I did something I normally don't do. I got up in the morning, I started writing to my future self, you know. And at the same time, I gave myself silence. I was silent for a couple of minutes and I was just visualizing my future, how I wanted to be. And I was affirming to myself, that the universe has my back and I have abundance of wealth flowing to me and I'm never, it's unlimited. And you got to be in that mindset. You see, you got to be in that mindset no matter what comes across. Everything that comes across is just to push you towards where you have to be.
Mm.
If you realize that, then you know that you're connected to source. There is reasons for things. I'm going to give you a very, very good example. Okay. Now my partner, he lives in Spain. So one of our friends here was exhibiting in Brazil. Okay. And someone told me a long time ago that Brazil, it activates my Venus. Venus is the planet of luxury. So I've been pushing my partner to keep going, you know, do something in Brazil, do something in Brazil, do something in Brazil. So I speak to my friend here who's exhibiting. He says, why doesn't your partner come to Brazil? Because he speaks Spanish as well, right? A lot of South America, all of that. And he goes there, right? He goes there. Guess what? It's so divine. My friend here and my partner there end up taking the same hotel. Okay, they don't know which hotel they're going to. They end up taking the same hotel and their rooms are next to each other. And it was such an eye opener for my partner because I've been pushing him. Literally, he came across people who are at a level, right? It says surround yourself with the five. He was surrounded by people who are at a certain level, like manufacturers who are the only manufacturers of that product in China. So they're the sole manufacturers. They're worth in millions and billions of dollars. And customers who are like, normally we would ship something like in small quantities, like, oh, I need 2 million pieces of this. So you can imagine when you're connected. My push here and push there, look how it all added up. Look how it all added up. And the future looks very bright now because there could be a big partnership for different markets around the world. So you see, when something is there, just go for it.
Absolutely. I love it. I
It
love
takes
that
time.
story.
It takes time. You don't know the results when they're going to come. Don't be attached to it. Just keep going with that belief, that faith, that it you will reach where you have to reach.
I agree. I mean, we can talk about this all day, but I'm sure that this nugget is good enough for people that would eventually see this. And I think this is also for the future. There are people at different levels that would come to this particular. So if you're watching this and you eventually bump into this video, remember that it is that aha you need to take you to the next level. So I think yeah, this is a very wonderful and beautiful place to. I know we have another. I know next week we're going to come again with something equally interesting and insightful that would help people think out of the box. Think. There are different ways that you can be a better version of yourself. All you need to do is be aware.
Agree. You have to be aware, and when you're aware, that's when you get your aha moments. And I know for a fact that someday this aha moment will reach a level where even you and me probably will be wondering how come we reached
Oh
this
yeah,
far,
I believe that.
right? And we started this so that we could make people realize. And you know I think more than us, it's that connection we're having to ourselves again when we are having
Yeah,
these conversations.
I
You see,
agree.
so I'm so happy we started this, and I'm so grateful to you, Grace. Um, Everyone who watches this, please share it, share with others. We want to spread this to as many people as possible. Hashtag replay. If you watch it, leave us comments. If you have questions, reach out to us. We're going to be coming up with a course very soon. It's been delayed a little because we've been doing so many different things. Grace, I mean, if you find out the amount of things Grace does, it's just unbelievable. I learned from her. I'm also into multiple businesses, so it's not easy to coordinate our timetable sometimes, and also technological glitches, but we still going on, right? And thank you so much, Grace, that we started this aha moment, which again, I want to remember when we first started, we were thinking and we had the same name come across, aha. And we were like, oh my God, this is divine, right? This is so divine. That we had the same thought. Why? Because we're connected to source. The source is telling us this is what you want to call it. So I'm glad we do this, and we'll keep doing it. And I hope we can spread the love to many people. And for those of you that missed the 888 portal, don't worry. It's open till the 12th. Now's the time to make the shift. Watch these aha moment videos, shift those energies. You will not believe a person like Tony Robbins, who made $38,000 a year as a janitor, shifted just 1%, and he made $1 million the next year. So anything's possible. I've attended a webinar of a girl who was in debt from college, and in 2 years, she's a millionaire, and she's doing workshops, and it amazes me to see because she's half my age. So imagine that could be you. So
Absolutely.
watch the aha moment, share it with people. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Grace, and we'll see everybody in the next episode. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.